I'm Nick Blaszczak with sports. The first week in April is coming to a close, and with it means a full slate of Husson sports. A handful of Husson teams will be in action this weekend. Men's golf visits North Dartmouth, Mass. for the Westport Hampton Inn Spring Invitational. The two-day event finishes up on Saturday. The lacrosse teams are also on the road this weekend as the Eagles take a trip out to Castleton for a battle against the conference rival Spartans. The men's team hit the field first at 1 p.m., followed by the women at 3:30. The softball team look to keep up their dominance as they play host to Fisher for a doubleheader on Saturday. The Eagles are the only team in the North Atlantic Conference to have amassed double-digit wins thus far this season. First pitch is scheduled for 1 and 3:30 p.m. The baseball team rounds out the weekend of sports action at Husson with 4 games against Colby Sawyer. The Eagles will face the Chargers at 1 and 3:30 on Saturday and at noon and 2:30 on Sunday. Don't look now because the Boston Bruins are streaking. Victorious in their last 6 games, the Bees are surging into the playoffs for the first time in 3 years after clinching on Tuesday night with a 4-0 win over Tampa Bay. With 2 games left in the season, the Bruins will be without star forward Brad Marchand as the team battles for playoff seeding. The star forward receiving a 2-game suspension for spearing Jake Dotchin during the first period of Tuesday night's game against the Lightning. So how would Boston fare without Marchand in a pivotal game against the Ottawa Senators last night? Well, the highlights from TD Garden. We'll pick this one up in the first. Midway through the first, is Daniel Chara passing down low to Drew Stafford, wrapping around the back of the net, beating Craig Anderson through the 5-hole. Bees up 1-0. Now, second period, Senators trying to even the game. Dion Phaneuf, a drive from the left-hand side, turned away by Rask. Out to the point, Alexander Burrows notching a hatchet past Tuukka Rask, even the game at 1 apiece. This one would require extra time. Into the shootout we go. It's Kyle Turris driving in, trying to give the Senators the advantage. Pulls back and snaps this one past Tuukka Rask. Another look at it right here as he just beats this one a wicked wrister. David Pastrnak trying to extend it, has to keep this one in to make it go on. But David Pastrnak stuffed by Craig Anderson, who swallows this one up as the Senators go on to win this one by a final of 2-1 in the shootout. Boston wraps up their season on Saturday against the NHL best Washington Capitals at 3 p.m. Ottawa, with 2 games left, continue their season on Saturday with a matchup against the New York Rangers. Opening faceoff is slated for 12:30. The Boston Celtics continue to jockey for first place in the Eastern Conference. After losing a pivotal game against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday night, the C's returned to the hardwood last night, trying to avoid losing any more ground in the standings. Boston visiting Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Top of the key, Dennis Schroeder looking left side, finds Tim Hardaway Jr. Fadeaway 3, he's got it as the Hawks extend the lead to 18. Now Schroeder again, top of the key, driving right-hand side, looking left. Pass down low, driving cross paint, lob pass for the big man, Dwight Howard with the slam. And it's been all Atlanta in this one, driving left-hand side, kick out to the top of the key. Nice save by Mike Muscala. Into the corner to Paul Millsap, pulling up the 3-ball. He's got it, lights out. Paul Millsap, 26 points in this one as he came off the bench. Team high for Atlanta, but he wouldn't get the game high. That'd be Isaiah Thomas driving in, little up under move, gets his own rebound, puts this one in. Isaiah Thomas 35 points, but it wouldn't be enough as Dennis Schroeder here at the top of the key, up by 6, just dilly-dallying, trying to bleed that clock away. Jamison Crowder giving a ton of space as he just drives in, pulls up the 3, and knocks this one down to give the Atlanta Hawks the lead. They would go on to win this one by a final of 123-116. Boston on a 2-game slide will try and pick up the pieces tomorrow night against the Charlotte Hornets. Opening tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Quick turnaround for Atlanta as the Hawks take on the top team in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, tonight at 7:30. With the end of the NBA regular season approaching and the Celtics hedging Cleveland for the top spot in the East, it's difficult to see where the chips will fall. Each team making their bid for the playoff seeding as the days dwindle down. For more Shamrock talk, we bring in NESCom sports reporter Chris Brownell live from the newsroom. Chris, what say you?
Thank you, Nick. The Boston Celtics have been showing their grit throughout the regular season, being the first East team to reach the 50-win mark, the first for a Celtics team since 2011, and the first for head coach Brad Stevens. With the loss to the Cavaliers on Wednesday night, the Celtics fall to second in the Eastern Conference Finals, sure to change up their playoff picture. With 3 games left in the regular season, there's a chance the Celtics could take back the top spot in the East. The Cavs do have a couple games ahead of them against the Atlanta Hawks and a season finale against the 3-seeded Toronto Raptors, whom the Cavs have beat 3 times this season, but only by a margin of 12 points. The Celtics also have a tough road ahead of them, playing the Hornets that are looking to reach the playoffs, and a Bucks team who is currently 6th in the Eastern Conference. After the blowout loss to the Cavs on Wednesday night and the devastating loss to the Hawks last night, the Celtics could find themselves in a vulnerable position going into the last 3 games. Based on their toughness of schedule and their ability to win big games, look for the Cavaliers to remain the top spot in the East.
Tough schedule and ability to win big games in the East. Who are some of these opponents that the Celtics could be playing in the first round, Chris?
Several teams are battling for the last 2 spots. Currently, the Indiana Pacers and the Chicago Bulls are the placeholders for the 7th and 8th seed. But the Hornets, Heat, and Pistons are all looking for some big wins in the final stretch. I'd say look for the Celtics to either face the Bulls and the Pacers in the first round of their Eastern playoffs, a series that is likely to go longer than 4 games. Nick, back to you.
Okay, Chris, thank you for that report. After winning their season opener on Monday afternoon, the Boston Red Sox sights were set on offseason acquisition Chris Sale making his debut in Beantown. Sale coming to Boston in early December as a part of a trade with the Chicago White Sox for several prospects, including Cuban sensation Yohan Moncada and hard-throwing right-hander Michael Kopech. Pitching in a market with high expectations, the 28-year-old southpaw did not disappoint before the Fenway faithful on Wednesday night. Top of the first, here he is. Slider, nasty past Starling Marte. Francisco Cervelli down on a changeup. Josh Harrison blows this one by him. Chris Sale, 7 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, only allowing 3 hits. But his opposition, Jameson Taillon, would not be outmatched, as here's Justin Pedroia trying to give his pitcher some run support. Hit to the right side, charging throw by Andrew McCutchen. Play at the plate, Sandy Leon blows through the stop sign and gets tossed out at the plate. Red Sox again in striking distance, runners on the corner. K there from Sandoval, another K, and Dustin Pedroia, a comebacker to Jameson Taillon to get out of the jam. Taillon, 7 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, only allowing 5 hits. Game would go into extra innings. Andrew Benintendi at the ditch, bases loaded. He breaks his bat, gets this one over to second base and out. But in the bottom of the 12th, it would be Sandy Leon, the walk-off hero, bombs this one into the monster seats. And on a night all things sail, it's Sandy Leon who sails this one into the monster seats to give the Red Sox a 3-0 victory. The series finale on Thursday rained out, with the game being rescheduled to next Thursday, April 13th at 2:05 p.m. Boston back in action right now as the team begins a 4-game series on the road against the Detroit Tigers. Well, that wraps up this edition of sports, but when we come back, Nikayla Abruzzese will have your local weather forecast. We're back in a flash. Stay tuned.